Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to all of you who are new here. I did not want to film this video today. Let me be completely honest that the information that I'm about to share is very serious, but also something that I'm going through right now. And I thought it would be a very appropriate time to talk about this situation. And brief note before I start the video that you guys know something's going down because since my last vlog, this fish would have been taken off the wall already. So my husband and his fish, yeah, this fish is coming off the wall, people. And I think it's a cool fish, but it's not staying there, okay? And like, I couldn't find any other place in the house to take a video right now because this is like the best room. It has all the windows and it's like super bright and there's like a huge fish behind me and it just looks creepy. So I'm really sorry, everyone. It's my husband's fish. It weighs like 200 pounds and I couldn't lift it off the wall. That was probably killing myself. So yeah, we're gonna have to live with the fish. So I'm gonna cut the crap and just tell you guys what's going on. So we found mold in our home. So if you haven't watched my last video, you would not know we just moved and into this beautiful home in the middle of the country. And we thought that we had, you know, checked everything and made sure that everything was fine before we came. And you know, and this is another reason why I didn't want to film, because I just feel like a fool. I feel like I could have prevented this and I really couldn't, and I really should stop beating myself up because there's nothing I could have done that you know, like there's always something you could have done, but I just didn't know. So I'm gonna refrain from doing that and just deal with the situation. So in just a minute I'm gonna take you guys around the house and just show you areas that he identified as high moisture. And I really wish that there was something I could show you guys, but in this home, it is like there was nothing visible. There was nothing that we could see that was moldy. We didn't notice anything. So I'm gonna start from the beginning and just tell you guys quickly kind of what happened here. So yesterday morning, I woke up and I just had this bad feeling, you know, back up feeling, you know, when you guys have this like feeling and this intuition, like something's not right. And honestly, I'm gonna be really honest and upfront here, is that I've been having this feeling since we moved here. My mom had actually found this woman's blog. Her name is Andrea Fabry, and I'm gonna be talking a lot more about her in this video. What happened with her, long story short, is that her family, and she had 9 kids, husband, they moved into this really nice, I mean, over 5,000 square foot home in Colorado, relatively new home, and they had discovered mold. And this, they didn't discover for like 8 years that this is what was affecting all her kids. All her kids got so sick. I don't know if all her kids, but most of them got really sick, and all of them experienced some sort of symptoms, which she explains in her book, which I'm gonna be showing you guys. But anyways, my mom had come across her blog and, you know, had found out a bit more about mold and had done more research and was just telling me things like, hey, you know, make sure you get a dehumidifier, make sure you're keeping the humidity under 50% in your home, make sure that, you know, you're keeping the AC on in the summer, you're not leaving the windows open. So just like certain tips that she was giving me. And I was like, yeah, like, thanks, Mom. Like, this is great tips, you know, preventing against mold. Definitely gonna do this, and, you know, definitely gonna be on the lookout, because at the time we were looking for a home, and, you know, I had made a checklist of things that I wanted to avoid that could potentially mean mold growth. And, you know, there's certain, like the musty smell that you can smell, carpeted homes, so home with carpet, that can be an easy place for mold to hide, or just bacteria and things like that. So that's why we just wanted a home without any carpet, away from, you know, cell towers, away from, you know, transistor stations, so to keep the EMFs down, the radiation. So again, why we wanted to live in the country. Yeah. So anyways, when we first got into the house, I just had this bad feeling because it did smell musty when we got here, but it's because it's a home in the woods. It's kind of like a cottage. And it hasn't been lived in for about a month or 2, I believe. I don't know how to explain it. I just had a bad feeling, and I was like, I think there's mold here. Like, I think there's mold in this house. So I like scoured the house. I'm looking everywhere. And this is like the first day we moved in, and my husband's like, what the heck? Like, calm down. What's your problem? Because I can be a bit of a hypochondriac, and I get it. You know, being in the health industry, you know, being a holistic nutritionist, and with the research I've done, it's just, you know, the more you know, the more you know. So I was just super hyper vigilant and just searching the place. Okay, anyways, found nothing. Everything was fine. We moved all my stuff. Everything's here. Did my vlog, showed you guys the home in my last video, and am getting ready to renovate the studio and then this space as part of the studio space for Shelby Naturals. So, okay, so that's all happened. So then, I don't know, I just wanted to rule out this mold issue, and I kind of forgot about it, and I was totally fine. But my husband and he's a pretty sensitive person, and you know, we're working on his health. He struggles with like some food sensitivities, some allergy symptoms, but his allergy symptoms get so much worse when he's at the house. So we're talking like, you know, sneezing, even coughing, you know, constant mucus, constant, you know, blowing the nose. And he's the one who really told me, he's like, hey, like when I'm here at the house, my symptoms get worse, and I've been having trouble sleeping, you know, more than usual. So that for me was like, oh, really? Like, red flag. And I kind of was like, you know what? Like, we've been stressed, you know, we just moved, you know, we just got married, like so many things have been happening. You know, I just got over a cold, and I think like he may have picked it up. So I was like, oh, like you're probably just getting over the cold. Like, it's fine, like relax, we're fine. And I just felt bad for him. So the days went by, and of course the guy's like, you know, blowing his nose, constantly stuffed up. Like, I just noticed, and he noticed. And for him to notice, you know, being a guy, like he usually doesn't notice these things. He's like, whatever, like no problems, normal. I just knew like it's not normal. And for me, like I was getting some symptoms as well, but I didn't really know how to discern them. Like, you know, mood swings, you know, a headache here or there. I never get headaches anymore. Just like, yeah, and I've also been stuffed up, kind of had a sore throat when I wake up in the morning, but I just never really thought about it. So anyways, I have this book, and to talk again about Andrea Fabry. So she had written a book, and it's called Is Your Home Making You Sick? And this is a guide, a beginner's guide to toxic mold. A fantastic book. I cannot say enough about her book, and I really hope that this video encourages you guys to go buy the book if you live in a home. Seriously, this is a great resource to have. It was like $12 on Amazon. Everything will be linked in the description for you guys to quickly check out. It's like, what, 80 pages long. It's a super short but to the point book, which I appreciated. So anyways, I just read this whole book that morning, yesterday morning, and I realized like, hey, you know, this can be a possibility. Like, I'm not going to rule it out. Mold can be a possibility. I mean, you know, the home where we live, it's high humidity. You know, there could be something behind the wall that we just don't see. Like, it's, you know, anything could be a possibility, right? So my husband went right on his phone, went on the internet and started to search for companies. So and what I love about her is because people don't really take mold seriously, and some companies will come in and they'll just cut open your wall, and horror stories happened to her because they found mold in their house. They had like a leak in their bathroom or something like that, and they had a company come in and they cut open the wall. And what happens is, if you cut open in a wall with mold in it, and you know, you think it's gone, or it's you know, some mold is microscopic, and what happens is when you cut into mold, the spores are released in the air, and that is what you inhale, that are toxic to you, that are extremely toxic to your body, that are immunotoxic, so attack your immune system and, you know, cause your body to become autoimmune and to develop certain diseases. So like, her son had even developed diabetes type 1 from the mold spores. So that in itself was just like, you know, it's worth it to get a test. And both of us are really relatively new to mold. We've never dealt with it before, and we had no idea what to look for, what to do. And she recommends to buy a moisture meter and personal thermal imaging devices. So you can actually get them on Amazon, but they're like $700. So I was like, okay, let's just hire a company. He found a company on the internet that is in our area, and basically you want to look for a company, and she has a checklist of what to ask hygienists, because some hygienists, they just don't know what to look for, and they're just not educated, and they could do things that could really harm you and your health if you have mold. So she has a whole checklist actually on page 9. I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want this video to be super long. I just want it to be to the point so you guys get really valuable information in this. But I had read this checklist, and basically what it asks is, do you believe mold is harmful? Like, that's the main reason. What constitutes a safe level of mold? Can I see the report after? You know, can I see the lab results, right? The mold lab results. So just like common sense questions, but you know, these are super important, and you want to make sure that these people are doing a proper test when they come in. So anyways, we found this company. I had talked with them over the phone for probably like 45 minutes, and they do air testing. So the 2 best tests for detecting mold, according to her, and also one of the top, I think he's a toxologist. His name is Dr. Thatcher. Now, he has passed away in 2017 recently, but he was actually one of the influential people who helped her discover that her home was infested with mold, and her family had to evacuate, and they had to leave everything because mold goes into everything. Like, we're talking clothes, mattress, like it infects like it's in the air, it's in the dust, like it's everywhere. So she had to evacuate. So just reading her story, and just, you know, and that had gone on for her for like 8 years. And for me, like, for us, we just got here, really. So it's like, okay, we need to nip this in the bud. So this company did a test called air testing, and we had read in her book that, you know, air testing can be good, it can pick up things. And I did read more and find out, you know, air testing is not very reliable. The most reliable test is actually a dust test. And I dog-eared some pages just to have quick references to tell you guys, but I just want to make sure. So the dust test is called the ERMI analysis, offered by Mycometrics, and it's about $300 plus return shipping. And then there's another test called the HERTSMI, so HERTSMI test. And it only tests for like 5 species of mold, whereas the other test tests for 36 species of mold. And these are the most effective tests because they pick up mold spores that could have been around for longer, depending where you get the dust, like from, you know, refrigerator coils and things like that. You can really determine and get a whole picture of the whole home, like, you know, how many spores, what type of mold is present, and etc. So this company that we hired unfortunately didn't do dust testing, that we would have to do that ourselves, but we thought we just need to get a quick picture, and we need someone to come in and just tell us, do we even have mold, and do we need to worry about anything? So the guy just left. He came, the hygienist, he came and basically tested the moisture levels in the wall and was trying to pick up areas where there was moisture in the wall that you can't visibly see with your eye, obviously. And then he also went up in our attic where he found mold. So he found basically black wood, and of course we thought, like, oh shit, like we have black mold, right? And I mean, we're waiting for the test results. He took a swab of that, but that was really like, whoa, like we have mold. He kind of went in the attic and noticed that there must have been water leaking through the roof somehow, but the plywood underneath on the roof, underneath the shingles, was black. I'm gonna take you guys around right now and just show you some areas that he found, and just kind of show you what's been going down. So yeah, the attic, which is just up here. So again, like on this wall, apparently the moisture levels are 43%, which is high. And this is just the bathroom here. Let's flip the light on. But in here, this is where the attic is. So he like went right up through there, and it's all sealed off, and we had never like thought to really go in there and check it out. But yeah, he had gone in there and had discovered that rotted plywood. So that was really freaky for me, for us, yeah, for us. Okay, so this is the kitchen. Apologize guys, things are a little messy and out of order. But yeah, this is where he found, so apparently in this little spot here, and you can kind of see that the drywall is separating from the ceiling a bit, like it's cracking there, and the drywall tape is kind of separating from the wall. He had detected 100% moisture there. So that in itself means that there's something going on in the wall there and that we can't really see. So that was another thing. And then I'm just gonna take you guys in the bathroom. So the one thing we were concerned about is obviously where there's water. I'm just gonna turn the so obviously we're concerned about where there's water and where it could leak into the other wall. So in the kitchen, we kind of noticed like a bit of, we thought it was water damage, but he had taken moisture tests and it came up as fine. So always make sure to check if you guys are going to be doing this and just taking precaution. Looking in your home. In our bedroom, he had also found, I believe, high levels of moisture like in the closet area, and that is where the sink is, like right on this side in the bathroom. This is in the master bedroom. So yeah, so those are the few areas that he pinpointed. The other bedroom was totally fine. Apparently like the kitchen was fine except for that 100% moisture part. So I mean, that's what we had going down. And what he did was he did an outdoor test. So he went outside and he did a test of the spores outside. Yeah, so for mold, you want to compare the outdoor levels to the indoor levels. So he did an air test outside and then he did another air test in our bedroom. Now with the price we paid, I believe it was $425 for just the inspection, and we did do an extra swab test, which is an extra $75 for that rotted wood, just to identify what it is and if it's active, like what amount the spores are, like, you know, the spores per meter, square meter. So we did that, and I really wanted to get another test done, but I thought, you know what, since air testing isn't super accurate, I would just do a dust test if we found, you know, that the levels that came back from the lab are, you know, questionable. So we're still waiting back for the results. I'm going to be filming to let you guys know what they are and keeping you guys up to date with what's going on and with any information I find out. Right now, I'm just actually reading through her book for the second time, or the third time now. Just really refreshing myself with, you know, what to do, and it's a very valuable book that I believe everyone should have, everyone should get. It's a great resource, and she basically went through it herself and, you know, found out after all this time that, and connected all of her family's sicknesses to mold and the seriousness of it. And, you know, I know that for me, it's just the beginning, and, you know, we haven't, you know, we haven't found anything out. I mean, we do know that we have mold in the house now. We know that there's a leak. So with moisture present, you know, mold grows under favorable circumstances. So I will see you guys hopefully with a good update, a good positive update. Hopefully we don't have to move. Hopefully we can stay here. I mean, I don't know, but obviously we're going to be making the best decision for us and for our health. That is number one. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But one thing, before I forget, I almost forgot, is I want to show you guys. So my husband had picked up this mold test at Goodwill for like $2. And, you know, it was totally sealed, brand new. And we had done this like just when I got here, like, I don't know, maybe like a month or so ago. And we just wanted to see, so you get this little petri dish and you fill it with this solution, you stick it in the room that you want to test. So we tested our bedroom, obviously, because, you know, we spend a lot of time sleeping there. And, you know, we didn't really get anything in the petri dish. So we kind of put the petri dish away, and then, you know, my husband put it in the kitchen and we didn't really think about it. And I was just cleaning through and I, you know, found it in there. And I was like, oh, why does we still have this? Like, let's just throw it out. And apparently these tests are not accurate, or they aren't very accurate. And there has to be high amounts of mold in the air for it to pick up mold. So yeah, look what I found, guys. Okay, look what I found. Okay, how disgusting is this? How disgusting is this? Yeah, there's quite a bit of mold on here. I mean, as you guys can, I don't know if you can see, I have it in a baggie and I really don't want to take it out again because it's just gross. But I don't know what this means. Obviously, I know that means that we have an issue on our hands, and you know, we are aware of that after the guy came today and found what he found, and now we're just waiting on the test result. So I will fill you guys in my next video. Bye guys.